All right, so
You want to do it kind of question answer?
yeah. Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? It's Andre here.
And Brian again.
All right, so another episode here. We don't even know what we're gonna name this thing yet. But,
No.
we're just gonna roll.
Yeah.
All right, so business banking.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about business banking,
Sure.
and we want to kind of get into. Earlier we talked about like what is it like, should you start a business, an account, and get organized and all of that. So we want to move forward to those people that ask, and we get these questions all the time of, say you go visit a business,
Yeah.
So I want to ask questions about like what is that like? Because maybe
Well, first,
business...
most people, Andre, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, because you see me every day, but most people don't realize that's really what business bankers and commercial lenders do, is they go out and visit their customers. So we're one of the few people in the
Okay.
bank or credit union that are actually out on the road more than they're in the office. Because
okay.
business owners, by matter of what they do, it's hard to leave. You can't just go leave for an hour to run to the bank or go talk to somebody. Sometimes you can, but not always. So a lot of what I do, and most of what I do, is I go and visit our members at their place of business. Sometimes very informally, sometimes more formally. Maybe they have their CPA or their attorney or partners or some key employees there.
Okay.
But I mean, it can be anything from a drop-in. If I'm driving through Hamtramck and I see one of our customers' buildings or know I'm going to pass it, I'll run in. If they're there, great. If not, just stopped in to say hi. So it could be a little intimidating, though.
Right.
I think we both heard people say
the
that,
question.
right?
What's the first?
Yeah.
Can you? So say you knock, right? And I
Yeah.
open, or somebody in my
Sure.
staff opens it, and you walk in. What do you see? What can I expect? What are you gonna ask me?
I think
Right.
the first thing to maybe put your mind and everyone's mind at ease, we've done this a long time. Most business or commercial bankers have done it a long time. And we've seen all kinds of businesses. I mean, I've seen iron smelting facilities where they were
Oh, wow.
dumping liquid metal.
Yeah.
Obviously, doctors' offices, things like that, warehouses, trucking companies, pizza places, juice bars. I mean, you name it. We've seen them all, and they all are very different. They're all special in their own way, but it's just you need to remember it's not an inspection. We're not the military coming in to make sure you're doing things a certain way. It's to get to know your business better. And if I want to get to know your business, because it's a living, breathing thing that takes up a lot of your time and a lot of your thought, I need to see it in action. And it's a lot of times it's easier to explain how something works or how your business runs when we actually see it. And it doesn't have to be something that makes some anxiety or agita or anything like that. It's just what we do. And I get so callous too because I do it all day. But
So the first thing that I want everybody to know is that it's not an inspection.
Nobody's
in
no
trouble.
inspection. Yes, we're not. That is not what it is. It's good to know most business owners. We're probably there to talk about credit or some kind of expansion of their business or something with their business needs. Usually, I mean, sometimes it's not. Sometimes people, we've had customers that we've helped them through a project, and when the fruits of that are done and they're able to buy cash expansion or a new truck, they want to show us that, or if they have some really cool work in process on the floor. We have some customers that customize vehicles and things like that, and to go there and see it through the process. This is the materials that come in, this is what my people do, and here's my end product, and you have a ribbon cutting and you hand it over to somebody. Nice. It helps me understand as a lender what you're really asking for.
So I think to sort of bridge that gap between that experienced business owner, right, that's maybe met with you and maybe dozens of others over 20, 30 years, to the person who's maybe you're visiting and knocking on their door the first time.
Yeah.
I think the difference that I'm kind of hearing is that we at the credit union here are more of a partner type, right? Where you have a CPA, you have maybe an attorney, you have a vendor that does some kind of a service for you, right? We are kind of there to listen, right? Ask some questions, understand their business better, and it's not just we want to lend or they want to borrow. It's more, there's so many other things. Can you talk about those other things? for instance, maybe some business owners have heard of like treasury services, but just on a very like simplistic sort of definition.
Yeah, I
what
think.
does that actually mean? Like, what besides that service can you?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have products at the bank, right? We've got deposit accounts and savings accounts where you write your checks and where when people pay you, the money goes in, and savings for more long-term stuff. And then obviously as a credit union, everyone thinks about loans and lending and things like that. But there's this whole third pile, this whole third group of products that we have for small business owners. So it goes from anything from a simple invoicing program that goes right through our website. I mean, we have a fantastic little product called audiobooks that we're a partner with, that a small business that maybe makes pies at a local event can actually have professional looking invoices and can take credit cards and can do a lot of things that make you a little more legitimate in some people's eyes than just a cash only business. We have credit card programs for employers and their employees, full line of treasury services. So that this is where it starts getting a little more complicated, but treasury services are basically a group of products. So credit card processing. Start with that. That's a treasury service. That's not a checking, a savings, or a loan.
I need to be able to take cards, and people are asking me left and right.
So to accept credit cards, it's called merchant processing.
Okay.
A merchant processing account is part of a bigger group of products called treasury management. Treasury management can also be, let's say you happen to get paid in foreign currency on a regular basis. Or here, more likely, you need to pay something in foreign currency. So you're able to see, is it better to send American money and let them convert it, or is it better for me to convert it to whatever the local currency and send it?
Okay.
If you have, let's say maybe you're a real estate, or, you have rental properties, you have an apartment building. Treasury services would be the feature where you bill and pull the money out of your tenant's checking account on a regular basis. So it's not credit card acceptance, but like the rent is $500 a month, and you pull it out of their account and it goes into your checking account. So that would be a treasury service product. But it can be any of a number of things. It's again, it's not something, usually those calls are where a business owner will call and say, my friend owns another pizza place and we heard that treasury, merchant processing can now be integrated in my app.
Yeah.
So a lot of that's word of mouth, but.
Okay, so let's go on. So let's say you're having this conversation, you're talking about business, we're kind of getting to know, you're getting to know the customer, and maybe lending does come up, whether it's the first meeting, second, whatever, right? Can you walk us through a little bit what sort of, from your perspective, like you have the credit union hat, you're the lender, you have the money kind of thing, what do you look for, or what stands out in conversation where in your mind, almost like a secret kind of thing, like what's in your mind, it's like, okay, this is doable. This is, because you've heard me say X, Y, Z. Like, can you maybe a few things?
I mean, from a high level, there's 3 C's of credit. This is as old as banking.
Okay.
Credit, collateral, and cash flow. So,
okay. What's all that?
So the collateral, we'll start there. What do you need the money for? What do you need my money for? Are you buying a new truck? Are you buying a building? Are you expanding in some other way? Are you bringing on 10 new employees? Are you taking on a project or a job bigger than you normally do? And maybe you normally bill against accounts receivable, but on this project with General Motors, they, that could be 6 months off. You got to buy the raw material now. That's more of a work in process thing. So the first thing is what's the need? What do you need the credit for? Everyone wants $1 million unsecured line of credit in case of a rainy day, but that's not how it works. So what's the need?
Okay.
What's your credit like? So most of the businesses I deal with, it's a person or 2 or 3 people that own it, human beings. These aren't large publicly traded companies or even small public companies. They're me and you. It's these 3 people or those 4 girls who grew up playing soccer together and now they own a little fashion brand in downtown Warren together. So those are what we see. So keeping your personal credit. So almost all, and I'll say all credit we write, the owner personally guarantees it.
Okay.
Which gets into
Okay.
a whole different conversation, but a personal guarantee basically means I'm lending the money to the business. If the business can't pay it back, that person secondarily is responsible to pay it back.
Okay.
Which kind of leads us to the next part. It's the collateral. You know, what are you offering me as collateral? You want my money, I want some collateral. I want a mortgage against your building. I want to
Okay.
put a lien on your truck.
Mhm.
There's all different ways to do it. There's all different, so it's hard, and you know, that's what
And
we
so
want to
there's
come
a
out.
value on.
There's a value.
So you have to value whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't expect people to know those things. I think that's one thing I want to say. Like, most business owners, almost all business owners, when we come out and we talk, they have a good grasp of their business.
Mhm.
I don't expect somebody to know down to the dollar how much they've done in revenue this year or this month,
Mhm.
or how many dollars in accounts receivable, but they usually know a range, and I would expect them to know. So if you want a
Sure.
secret, like,
Yeah, that
at
makes
least
sense.
brush up. You know, nobody's expecting you to be an expert on your numbers, but at least you should be able to have. That's a red flag for me. If I'm asking you as the business owner, you know, how's business this year? How's business this month? Just in a general conversational.
And I don't know.
And you're
That's
like,
kind of-
I don't know. And you look at me and you say, I don't know. Like, it's not a good sign. You know,
Okay.
if you tell me I've done about $1 million this year and we go down the road a little more and I get a financial statement from you that says you've done 980,000, I'm not going to be like, you lied to me. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
general. It's
You're
general
generalizing.
conversation,
Okay.
right? All
So-
those calculations can take place behind the scenes.
So the credit is the personal credit of the owners of the company, right? Then the collateral. What is the value of the thing, the
Yeah.
project, the building, the equipment? Okay. And then the last one is
It's cash flow.
okay.
So
what
lenders
is that
have to
like?
show on paper that you can make your payments. That you
Okay.
can, if I lend you money, before I lend you money, I have an obligation to make sure I'm not putting you in a spot that is going to make your situation worse.
Mhm.
So if I'm lending you money, I have to be able to show on paper to just one common sense, but two people inside our credit union who help make these credit decisions, and three regulators and things like that, that this is a good loan to make. Because the loan I'm giving you is actually our members' deposits. That's how credit unions work.
Okay.
We take in
Sure.
deposits, we pay an interest rate
We
on
have a
that.
fiduciary
We loan 'em out.
responsibility.
I have a
Yeah.
little responsibility to every person who has a penny at this credit union to protect that, and I have to have a good understanding of how they're gonna pay me back.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's an expansion, so sometimes it's not just your tax returns in the past, but you need to buy a new CNC machine.
Mhm.
And part of that is gonna have to hire 2 people to run it, cause you've got some work coming in, you know that
We wanna-
you need that
We
machine
want to
for.
support that. Yeah.
You know, what we do
Okay.
actually creates jobs, and it's interesting. So, and maybe in a case like that.
And Michigan is really kind of tied into many industries.
It is,
There's a
and we-
lot of things that we actually do.
And when you talk to lenders around the country, they find what we do here fascinating, and most would prefer it. We have real things, especially here in Macomb County, Eastern Oakland County. Like, we
Mhm.
make stuff. We have
Yeah.
factories
Yeah.
and parts, and raw steel comes in, and this I-beam comes out. Like, we really, it's not all server farms and like
Mhm.
techie terms. Like, it's pretty real. We have trucks. Like,
Mhm.
it's a Volvo in the parking
Airplane
lot right
parts,
now. You know?
Aerospace.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we have 2 of the largest defense contractors in the world within a bike ride of this office. I mean, what we
Yeah, it's
do
pretty
in,
amazing.
in Macomb County is pretty amazing. That opens up more avenues to lend, because there's tier 2. I mean, we all know, most people don't know what a tier 2 supplier is around the country, but here we all know what it is because we lived with it, or our friend's
Yeah.
dad worked for one. But it's, you know, at the end of the day, can you pay me back the money? Because ultimately, that's all I want. I want my money back.
Mhm.
So we are a partner in some ways where we can help you grow, but we're not a partner in the way of, I'm not getting 50% of your business to make you this loan. This isn't Shark Tank, right?
Right.
This is, I might get 6% or 7%
Yeah.
interest
Whatever
on
the
my money
current
for
rates
a
are.
loan.
Yeah.
So I have to be very sure when I'm lending someone else's money, my members' money, that I have a real good understanding of your business, and I believe we're going to be paid back.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Thank you,
Have a great
folks.
day, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, click the link below and get in contact with us so that we can come visit. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Andre.
That's cool,
Yeah,
right?
a little more comfortable, I think.
Yeah.
For me, it was.